Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, subscribe, like, and share, of course. And today's topic is do not compromise your calling. And what I mean by that is do not compromise the calling that God has placed in your life. And today I'm gonna leave you guys with 3 points. So it's gonna be short and simple, right? So the first point is be stubborn. I know that sounds bad. It has some negative connotations to it. But hear me out. What I mean by this is not to be rude or anything, but to let others know that through your devotion that God gave you a path to take. And putting myself for example, this is something that I kind of like drilled into myself. Like if I'm going for different jobs, that I'm on that career path and I'm trying to like get those certain jobs. Like I'm not taking like any side jobs, like not like no like jobs that anybody else, but it's like I want to stay focused. Like I want to go on that straight line because I know that through me being patient and going through it that God will show up in ways that I can't even imagine. And that has happened. There's different doors opening up, whether it's me getting my master's in urban ministry or me being able to work in the schools and being around youth where I didn't have that type of education background, but I learned that along the way. And that's simply because I trusted God and I listened to Him. And somebody else in the Bible that was kind of stubborn, very stubborn, was Paul. Before he was Paul, he was Saul. And on that extreme end of that, he was stubborn before he was saved because he was radically killing Christians, right? For Rome, like he was killing Christians and all that, right? And then on the other side, when God came into his life, he was radical for God because everything he did, he was not half doing, and that's something that you can admire from his life. He was not half stepping. Like four quarters basketball, he was all in all the time. And a lot of like challenges happened like when he was going to different places presenting the gospel because not everybody was welcoming of that. And I remember one point where I was reading, I forgot what book it was from. You guys can look it up. But he was speaking to the people, right? And then they stoned him. Like they threw rocks at him. He died. And then believers, they was praying over him. Then he came back to life and he kept on going. And when I read that, I was like, that's crazy. If somebody threw a rock at me, I died. And then with the power of God, I came back. I don't know if I'm gonna go through with it. Even like I don't even know if I'll go do all the things that Paul did, trying to save Christians, right? Because like that's the definition of persecution, like Jesus, and that's what we're all aiming for. Wherever we are, whatever we're going through, that we'll keep God in our minds. And as hard as it might seem, we have to remind ourselves of that and to stay prepared. And my second point is do not apologize. You do not need to explain your rationale for what you are doing. And for example, if you say no toward a certain task, if the party you're talking to does not accept that, that's on them. You don't need to explain like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. Like, no, like your answer, like you're already validated. Your answer is strong because if you have peace in it and God is instructing you to give that answer and what to do, who are they to speak against it? And your task is to keep pushing. And the best example for this is Jesus himself. He had a clear cut goal, and every place he went to and everything he said was met with adversity. But he did not people please, nor did he apologize for his appointment. Everywhere he went is like he was like, my time is not It's not here yet. Like it's not his time yet. But in those moments, that was his time to be there, right? And he did not apologize for where he was going, and he knew what he was doing. He was very strategic in what he was doing, because he knew that the Romans, like the different like Sadducees and Pharisees was after him, but he knew how to get in and out because he knew that wasn't his time, and he had a goal and a purpose. So wherever he went, he made it better, and he made a lot of people better as well. And my last point that I wanted to leave you guys with, point number 3, is to stay focused. It's hard to speak your mind and stay true. Like, you'll say like, hey man, I want to do this. Like, you have your goals, but then when you throw in the world, when you throw in people, and like, hey, they have their opinions on certain things, and like it becomes tough. But we have to just keep that in us, right? That, like, that, that inner drive to push through. In the verse that goes along with that and everything we just said, it comes from 2 Corinthians 4:16. This is Paul writing to the people of Corinth, and it comes from the NCV version, New Century Version, and it says, "So we do not give up. Our physical body is becoming older and weaker, but our spirit inside us is made new every day." So with that said, your celebration is coming. Then when that happens, you're gonna be reaching new heights, both here, in the kingdom that is, preparing you and preparing us for the kingdom that is to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this message, and as always, I will see you guys next Friday at 7 o'clock. Subscribe, like, share, and peace.